Okay. Let's do this. I'm Chronix from Moose Extreme Wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for May 12th, 2021. We're back at the Daily's Place once again, but my friends, we're not going to be at the Daily's Place forever. And coming up soon, AEW apparently is going to be going on the road, which is crazy, but they're going to be doing it. They're going to be in Dallas and Austin in July. I went to the very first Dynamite there in Dallas, and I plan on going to this one as well. The tickets go on sale on Friday, so I'm going to check it out. Are they going to have front row seats available? Is that going to be something they're going to do, or is everybody going to have to be like way up in the stands? I don't know. I just been seeing Dynamite recently, and everybody seems to be oh so very far away. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see on Friday when these tickets do in fact go on sale. But tonight it is the Coronation of the Pinnacle. See, they won their big blood and guts match, their controversial match last week. So we're gonna be seeing that. But for now, we're kicking off the show with the most raw 1998 segment I've seen in a while. Like, all right, you got Yuji Nagata and you got Jon Moxley. They're going to be facing each other right now, and they got this segment at the very beginning where they're both walking out at the same time, and in the middle of the screen for raw effect as well, they have the like, what is that stuff called? It's like a lighting rig type thing going down the middle of the screen to do the split screen effect. And I was like, yeah, I feel like they were trying to intro. We cut back, and Yuji Nagata is still walking through the back and going through the entrance to do his entrance here, going into the ring. And I'm like, we have seen time and time and place, like we've seen the Daily's Place inside and out. I know it doesn't take that long to get anywhere in there, but hey, you got to make it dramatic, because look, this is for the U.S. Championship, the IWPG title, right? Jon Moxley is defending this thing, and he's going to do it right now. Jon Moxley comes to the ring, however, not with his normal song, but with Wild Thing playing. And I was like trying not to mark out about it, because look, I love like classic music, you know, well, not classic, but I guess oldies music, you know, going back into the 60s. This stuff is real chill. It's my jam. So when they started playing Wild Thing, I was like, so cool to see that. As we continue into here, we're going to start this match. They're going to start on the going right into it, because it's the opening match and you got to just start off strong. Yuji Nagata, they're telling us on commentary that this man is in his 50s. I think he's like 52, 53, and he wants to wrestle into his 70s. Well, I don't know if I could recommend that, but he looked fine, I suppose, for being in his 50s. He did this one spot where he like rolls his eyes in the back of his head to show how strong he is, how much he's into the move. You know, it's kind of like he's shifting into another mode, I suppose. I got to be honest, I don't know a lot about Yuji Nagata's past or his gimmicks. I'm kind of going into this blind, probably like a lot of people did who are not familiar with this kind of thing. Like if they're just a casual fan and they're watching and they're like, why is this happening? We're like, whoa, they did a video package last week. If you saw the video package, well, you might know what's happening. I saw the video package. So we're going to be having this match. The fans are having a great time. They're doing the "This is awesome" chant. Was it awesome? I mean, it was pretty good, I suppose. Paradigm shift, just so we can hear the Wild Thing song play once again. So I popped. I was like, hey, we're going to end this match by playing that song again. I mean, I'm all into it. So I was jamming out and I was singing along. Jon Moxley wins this match, and both of these men show each other respect there in the ring. So cool for them. they're going to move on. And, we're starting this night with mutual respect. Boys are speaking. Santana is very angry about the dirty tactics of the Pinnacle at Blood and Guts last week. Hager, he and the boys, they want another match. And I'm like, bro, how does one have another match after you had such a big match? I mean, Blood in the Guts is essentially like a War Games Hell in a Cell type situation. Like Chris Jericho, he's fell off of this massive mountaintop and supposedly just through devastating, going through the floor and just wrecking his body, just decimating it, right? Like, how are you going to have another match? Like, how do you top that? How do you do something bigger than that? I was unclear. But as the night goes, we might learn a thing or two about what possibly could happen. I thought that this was just a crazy booking idea. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't the end? Like, I know it's kind of short and I know it's kind of soon, but I mean, such a large match to just build into another match? Like, how do you top that? It's insane, right? Maybe they got to redeem themselves. I don't know. Look, Cody Rhodes is coming down to the ring. So, first, Sammy does say that he's never going to stop coming. So good for you, Sammy Guevara. He's going to keep doing it. He's just going to keep doing it because that's just what he does, right? Cody Rhodes. All right, next segment. We're here in the ring. Cody Rhodes has double or nothing plans. He brings up Americans. There's people have disagreements about a lot of things here in life as being an American. And he starts speaking about Anthony Ogogo, who isn't from America. And he lets us know that arguments is what makes Americans Americans. And I'm like, oh, is that what it is? Because, man, I must be super patriotic. You know what I'm saying? Like, Americans must be so patriotic by the arguments they have, or at least on social media. But he says that empathy outweighs our anger. And I'm like, is that even true? I'm not so sure about that. Seems like people's anger, I don't know, it might be a little bit more heavy these days. But he says Anthony Ogogo did not come to the U.S. to live the UK dream. He came to live essentially the American dream, right? And Cody even goes up to bring up segregation and how far we've come to the point where Cody and Brandy are going to have a baby together, and a double or nothing. Yeah, it's coming, and the fans are going to be in the seats. And by God, that's so American to have fans in seats, butts in seats. Hey, that's just what it is. And at that pay-per-view, he's not going to change his gear. He's not going to present himself any differently, but he will be the American dream, Cody Rhodes. And I was like, so just mentally, he's going to be the American dream. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Like, I assume he's going to like do some of the moves regardless. I don't know. I suppose that was just a way to make the match feel more important. I didn't think it was necessary for a match against who now? Anthony Ogogo? I mean, the guy seems promising. He seems nice, but man, to just really just go 100% on a feud, to be like, I'm gonna be the American dream. Like, I don't know, man, but he's gonna do that. So good for him. SCU has a pre-recorded segment where they talk about how much they liked the Young Bucks, and now they're literally crossing their arms with disappointment at the Bucks and all of their antics. So shame on the Bucks, I suppose. Let's do a tag team championship match right now. We're going to throw Don Callis on commentary because, yeah, the Young Bucks, they're defending their tag team championships against SCU. And look, if SCU loses, they will no longer be a tag team. They're going to have to just give it up. They're going to have to quit right there, right here and now, then and there. Whatever the tense is supposed to be, it's going to happen. So, what? Are they going to win the titles here tonight? I seriously doubt it. Let's see what's happened. Look, the Young Bucks, they come out in this slick ass red and gold jackets and gear. I was a fan of it. I was like, I would wear that jacket like right now. The Good Brothers, they are there at the ringside, and the announcers tell us that this is the 40th match between these two guys, or these four guys. And I thought to myself, holy but Jesus, how does this happen? 40 matches? I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot for tag teams to be having matches against each other. Obviously not on AEW, but just cumulatively. So maybe it is time for these guys to not face each other anymore. Nick Jackson, yeah, he's getting sticked, getting just punched and kicked by Kazarian over here. Matt does like the Macho Man spin pose, you know what I'm talking about? Just horribly. I guess to get heat. Like, I mean, like people are gonna be mad at him now because he's doing the macho thing, and they just did the Macho Man documentary. Is that why they did that? Just bizarre. It was just that had to have been it because of what happened later here in the match. The Bucks go from playing around to just getting mad and just very angry. Nick super kicks Christopher Daniels into the post so hard that he bleeds everywhere. And I mean, he bled everywhere. Like, I guess TNT doesn't care about blood because they bleed so much on AEW. It's ridiculous. Like, there was no real reason to do that. I guess they had to make it seem more dire. I don't know. I feel like they pull that trick out of the hat a little often, if you ask me. So, yeah. Kazarian, he tries to do the match by himself at this point, but Daniels, he recovers somehow, gets the tag, and there was a spot where, you know, JR, he does these spots in matches where he just says what's on his mind. It doesn't matter if it's like in character for the show or what. He doesn't care. He just says it. You know what I mean? And I love that about JR. Because somebody on commentary had said they did this, right? And JR's like, who are they? You know, in reference to Vince McMahon, always like getting in the ear of the commentators, being like, you can't say they, like you got to say who it is, because, you know, if you don't know who they are, then they means nothing. So that always makes me laugh. Matt Jackson, he does the Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair thing where he's like, I'm sorry, I love you. And then he does a super kick, right? And he does it for a near fall. I'm like, I get that he's trying to be a douchebag, but man, dude, you can't just crap on great wrestling moments for a goof. Just for one teeny tiny chuckle in a match. Like, it's disrespectful. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, I know that like a young buck fanboy would be like, oh, well, let me tell you, sweaty, you know, it's just like a joke, you know, and you're taking this. No, it's like you're trivializing the good stuff. And it's like, to me, if you trivialize the essential moments, then like, what do you have left? Just like jokes that you make in a match? This is just one of the things about the Young Bucks that I just can never understand. But yeah, they do that. Christopher Daniels, he goes for the quote unquote best moonsault ever, right? Well, he slips on the way up. I mean, it wasn't disastrous. He just kind of like tried to put his feet up on the turnbuckles, and he slipped off and had to do it again. So that was kind of funny. But it did look nice when he actually did it. So I don't know what the deal is with Christopher Daniels trying to do like rope maneuvers here in AEW and consistently missing. But it's still funny. I'm sorry. It made me laugh. But he did get it. So I mean, there you go. So Matt, he uses a cold spray and super kicks Christopher Daniels over there for a 2. BTE trigger. The Young Bucks are still the champions. And man, sad day. As you know what that means. SCU no longer a tag team, so they won't be having 41 matches together. No, it's gonna stop right here. So yeah, Kazarian's face, it tells the story. He looks very sad. They don't really dwell on the segment, which seemed kind of weird because it seemed like a big thing. SCU's no longer a tag team. Oh no, this is sad. And all you really get is, well, they're not a tag team anymore. And Kazarian's like, I cannot believe that I have lost, destroyed, ruined the SCU, the good name of SCU. Scorpio Sky's already gone. This entire group is over. But yeah. So we cut to the back, right? And Moxley and Kingston are ripping up the Elite's locker room. And like, why? Because of what they just saw in the ring? What? Like, why are they so mad? I just didn't really get it. But they're super mad, or maybe they're just mad at them in general. They just felt like that was the time to do it. Like, I know they've been messing with them a lot and everything, but just seemed kind of petty to just rip up their locker room. Like, I mean, damn, like they couldn't have done anything else. They're just like, forget your locker room. I'm gonna throw your shirts around. It's just okay. There you go. Yeah, so we get a little segment. We get a little like replay of what we didn't see during the commercial break of a bloody hug between SCU giving the farewells to each other. So send off. Sorry we had to cut you off to show John Moxley and his friend Kingston tearing up the locker room because that was very essential at that time. So there you go. Why couldn't they just come out to the ring? I mean, literally, the Young Bucks were just there. Why couldn't they just walk out? It doesn't take very long to get there. We've established this several times. Just walk out there and face them. But no, they didn't want to have any interaction. They just wanted to tear up their stuff. I don't know. I would have written that differently is all I'm saying. Christian Cage, he's getting interviewed. He's looking tan. He's looking nice. He's got his jacket on. Yeah. So he's talking about Taz. You know, Taz is basically just, he used to be a bad man, but now he can't get in the ring. And I don't know why they keep mentioning that Taz can't get in the ring. It makes me think that Taz is going to get in the ring. Maybe he's just going to come in there and just hit that Couch to Hide May. I don't know. Possibly, perhaps. We don't know. But it just seems interesting. He's brought it up at least twice now. So at Double or Nothing, Christian is going to go into the Casino Battle Royal because why not? Okay. I hope he doesn't get hurt because you got a lot of people flying around. You better protect this man is all I'm saying. Matt Sydal, he pops into this promo just because I guess they used to be in WWE. So there you go. He's here. And he's going to be in the match too. And also he's going to face Christian, I think, on the next show. So, okay. They're going to have a match before they have a match. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to have a one-on-one match before they have their clash at there. So I expect further developments, controversy happening on this singles match. Like neither one of them can just beat the other guy, right? That would just be totally lame. Orange Cassidy, he's with the Best Friends and Chris Statlander. Well, at least just for the entrance. It's Orange Cassidy versus Pac. And, you know, Pac, he had the Lucha Bros, but I think the Lucha Bros also went to the back. You got a standoff at the start with the sunglasses. Orange hits the beach break. Orange gets the tope suicida with his hands in his pockets, and he pulls out another pair of sunglasses, puts them on, And Pac, he hits the missile drop kick 3 freaking times, but Orange, he moves out of the way. He rolls out of the way. And yeah, Pac is really laying the hammer down. Don Callis comes down and um, he comes down and he's like trying to distract, I guess. Pac comes from behind and Omega hits Pac with the AEW championship. And the referee doesn't see this, and we come to a double count out. And I'm like, really? That's what we're going to do? Okay. So Callis says there's no winner, and that means no match for Double or Nothing, because who would want Omega to face 2 losers? And I was like, well, I mean, he's kind of got a point, right? Tony Schiavone interrupts, and Tony Schiavone awkwardly gets in place to do the interview. Omega takes his sunglasses out for some reason, just so he can take them back off. It's like he forgot to put them on for the segment. So weird. Tony says that Tony Khan has made a match is going to be Omega and Pac versus Orange Cassidy at Double or Nothing for the title. And then Omega announces that, well, I guess under his breath technically, but he said it loud enough that I heard it, that they're going to leave through the hill tunnel now. So I'm glad that the jokes aren't over at AEW. Man, they're so funny. Speaking of funny, the Young Bucks and Good Brothers, they are backstage with some bad audio, and they're upset in the locker rooms because their locker rooms have been destroyed. The Young Bucks put their anger on 100% hold, so they can talk about SCU and their tag team match. And next week, they're going to face the Varsity Blondes. And yeah, then they kick it into more serious mode about Moxley and Kingston. They want a match at Double or Nothing. And Nick gives a very unconvincing yes. So my biggest problem with that entire segment was their entire locker room got destroyed by 2 guys that they absolutely hate. And it's like the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson had to take a freaking ad break. He was like, oh, and actually, SCU no longer a tag team, and next week, Varsity Blondes, we will be having matches, and here's where you can see it. So that was weird. Was it supposed to be humorous? I'm not sure. Maybe. I think sometimes. Oh my God, Young Buck fans are gonna be so mad at me. I think sometimes that they literally could just do anything and people would be like, that was good. That was funny. Ha. I got him. You know, they totally flipped the script, man. Normally in a promo, you would do it like this, but they intentionally stopped and just made a mockery of how promos are normally done. Ha. So creative, so intelligent, those guys. So awesome. So backstage, we got Hangman Page. He's with the Dark Order. He's still hanging out with these guys. He's got a drink in hand, and he's being interviewed by Alex Marvez. And Adam has kind of a crackly voice. I don't know what was going on with him. He's talking about Taz again. Taz name drops all over this show, and how, yeah, he thinks Taz had a big part in Adam losing his match, sending him down the ranks and all, right? And Adam Page thinks that Brian Cage should leave Taz. So this is more than once that we've seen somebody saying that Brian Cage, he should eject himself from the services of Taz and Team Taz, right? And a Double or Nothing, it's going to be time for another match. So Adam Page looks like he's going to be taking on Brian Cage. So that's going to be cool. I'm going to be excited for that. Now let's get into the coronation of the Pinnacle, because they won their match and they're all excited. MJF, he's got a crown, he's got his ring, and he's got ladies who are mostly blondes. One of them isn't a blonde. So, okay. One of them kind of looked like the NXT version of Charlotte, which was weird. I don't know if that was intentional or that was just like that the wrestler lady they brought in looked like that. So, I don't know. They got ladies with them inexplicably for some reason. Tony, he's on he explains on commentary that they were number one on television last week as they show the clip of Jericho falling. So, regardless of what your eyes told you, by God, they got the number one ranking. So whatever they did, it was fine. It was good. People loved it. Shut up. It's good. MJF cuts a promo with balloons and plants all around the ring. The girls are on the outside of the ring, which was also funny. Maybe they weren't actually wrestlers because they didn't even let them in the ring. Or maybe they needed to get a quick getaway. I'm guessing that was more of the case, right? Yeah, so MJF asked the fans if they want a rematch. And MJF says, no, it's not going to happen. Totally gets on the stick. And he's talking about how the Inner Circle quit their match, which is true. Those are facts. Tully, he has presents for everybody. Guess what they are? They're Rolexes for the boys. And then we start hearing all these honking. And I'm like, who the heck is honking? As everybody in the Pinnacle is also asking the same question. Who's doing the honking? Well, it's the Inner Circle rolling up on a gator, and they have a trailer. And it's got like signs on the back that say a little bit of the bubbly. It looks like they got some tanks on this thing, like you would fill up with, well, I guess in that area, where you would like hoard gasoline, something like that. But no, it had a little bit of the bubbly stored up in there. Sammy Guevara is like on the top with this cannon looking thing. I mean, it was just like a water hose with like the thing, like the little handle that makes it go like spray in different shapes and whatever. I don't even know what that's. It's a nozzle. It's got variations on the nozzle. He's up there. So you know what's about to happen because by God, it's wrestling and it's AEW and they cannot help themselves but to copy famous WWE moments. Like for real, dude, you literally just did one last week. Like you did the Rikishi falling off the Hell in the Cell thing. And it's like, yeah, well, that was 20 years ago. And they're like, you know what we should do? We should do another thing that like was popular 20 years ago. Stone Cold did it. Kurt Angle did it. He sprayed people with stuff. You had the Eddie Guerrero thing. You've had some various others. Is this even the first time that AEW has done this? Like, I feel like they did another thing very similar to this, but it's just escaping my mind at this moment. So Jericho, he's not dead. He's alive. He's got his arm in a complete cast, and he arisen. He arrives. He arises. Whatever. He's still alive, and I was like, dude, that is so crazy to me that they would do a segment like that where he like falls to his death, and then he's fine. I mean, he's in a cast. Okay, sure. But he can like lay down and hide in the back of a gator trailer and just like rise up like the Undertaker and just be like, yeah, I'm moving a little slow, but I want my match. By God, that's all that's on my mind. So he wants a rematch, and MJF, he's like, no, that's not going to happen. And Jericho tells Sammy to give him the water hose. Well, he didn't say water hose, but it straight up was water. I don't care what anybody says. That was obviously just water coming out of a water hose. And it didn't even really go far enough. FTR and who else was it? It was the chairman. Yeah, Sean Spears had to get closer to the spray rig, to the gator with the water hose, so they could visually actually look like they were getting sprayed. So it was okay, but it was just water, and it was obvious, and that just kind of made it lame. I'm sorry, I just didn't care. It wasn't fun. It wasn't like Vince McMahon swimming in the beer. It was like, oh no, we're getting wet. Oh no, let's get closer to the water. Oh no, I'm still getting wet. And, the women, I guess, that were there, they were standing on the outside of the ring just so they could easily get away and not get wet. Okay. Like, why? Why any of this? So, yeah, a very wet MJF accepts the match, but it's going to be a stadium stampede. But this time, it's the no fun edition. There won't be any jokes. I'll believe it when I see it. it's going to be FTR and the Inner Circle and another Stadium Stampede match. So by God, I hope it's good. Man, it's just crazy that they're going to go from blood and guts to that. Like, is that going to be it? Are they going to stop there? Who knows? Where will the ride stop? JR has a pre-recorded interview with Britt Baker about her upcoming Double or Nothing match with Sheeta, and he brings up the match that made Britt bleed so bad, put her on a t-shirt, made her have surgery, made her miss 5 months, and she guarantees a win at the pay-per-view. And I'm just going to guarantee a win now. Forget it, man. She's totally going to win the title at the pay-per-view because, I mean, Sheeta's cool and all, but I mean, is she really that interesting on the show? Like, what has she really done? Like, what storyline is she in other than just showing up with the kendo stick every once in a while? Britt Baker is way more interesting. And yeah, I think it's time to move on. So I think it's going to be the time. But right now, got Thunder Rosa. She's got her eyes on the NWA title, and she's going to take on Jasmine Allure for a squash match here. She beats like Jasmine in like no time at all, right? But next week it's going to be Serena Deeb, who is the NWA Women's Champion, is going to be taking on Red Velvet. So definitely look forward to that. We get a pre-recorded promo with Tony on who is going to represent Jade Cargill. So I was indeed correct that they would do a pre-recorded interview with Jade Cargill. They are just not ready to throw her out on her own. That's just the truth. But she says that she handles her own business, but she's still listening. So literally we have learned nothing more than we already knew about this. So, man, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. She's still open, but nobody's giving her a good offer. Like, Jade doesn't need that. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, sure. Her promos need like more work or whatever. And she's got to be coached. I don't care. But we don't need another representation thing. Like, look, dude, we already got Matt Hardy. Oh, I guess we still do. I haven't seen him in a while. So, yeah, let's just not do any more of that is all I'm saying. Darby Allin, he's got a video about getting back to his roots and how Miro hasn't really done anything impressive important since being in AEW, which, yeah, I totally agree. It's the main event time. It's time for Miro, the best man, to redeem himself. The TNT Championship is on the line. And he's wearing TNT Championship gear. Like, he just expects to win this match. It is Darby Allin with Sting versus Miro. Miro kickstarts this match with heavy hands and feet on Darby. The match, yeah, he's just beating the heck out of Darby to the point where the match hasn't even started. By the time the bell rings to start this match, Darby Allin can barely stand. He is spaghetti leg, just barely able to put them 2 feet underneath him. Goes for the coffin drop on the outside, gets turned into a German suplex right there on the floor. Sting gets knocked down during the break by Ethan Page because he's just a jerk. And plus, Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky were responsible for throwing Darby Allin down those stairs last week, which Darby Allin just inexplicably 100% recovered from. So good for him, but it does put him at a disadvantage because Miro is he's a big boy. He's going to be taking on Darby Allin, and Darby Allin is not 100% going into this match, so he's got to watch out for that. Everything is against Darby Allin here in this here match in the main event, and that's not good for Darby Allin. Oh, Darby Allin is getting picked apart, but he comes back with 2 stunners and a coffin drop that Miro catches that coffin drop, a roll-up. No, code red from Darby for 2. Miro catches Darby in a submission, and the ref just calls it. He's like, screw it. Dude, you ain't going to be able to continue. Plus, we're running out of time on the show. Yes, unfortunately, Darby Allin is no longer the TNT champion. Miro has captured that title, and hey, he's got gear to match that championship. So, I guess they say dress for the job you want. Miro dressed for the job he want. It had the championship logos and everything on it, and he actually got it. So good for him, right? Sting is very sad. Darby is out cold. And then Lance Archer at the very end of the show comes out so his song can be played because it's pretty cool, and let his presence be known as we go off the air. So that was AEW Dynamite. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can check me out on Twitter at MXW Chronics, on Twitch at twitch.tv/donut_space, and check out the YouTube Wrestling Federation, which is youtube.com/YouTube Wrestling Federation, on Facebook at facebook.com/YouTube Wrestling Federation. Oh, I got all of those links in the description. You can check them out, and I will catch you guys next time.